All right, welcome back everyone to the Osu Catch World Cup 2024. I'm still El Skefe, but this time around I'm joined by Sekre, and two of us will be casting Indonesia versus Team Norway on Osu Live 1. We also have China going on against the Netherlands on Osu Live 2, so two matches at the same time, which does happen quite often in the round of 32, because, well, I mean, there's still 60 matches to be played this weekend. Then again, Sekre, welcome on the podium. Your first time this year, except for the Battle Showcase, I guess, from last week.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, both of us looking forward to this match between the 13th and the 20th seeds. We're getting quite close to each other already. Indonesia on the one hand, with kind of a new team or some new names in the team. On the other hand, Norway, which is, well, pretty much the same team as a couple of years, quite veteran as well. T13 versus T20. What are your thoughts on this matchup, Sekre?
Honestly, this is probably one of the matchups that can go either way in the round of 32, in my opinion. You got Indonesia with one of the newer rosters with a lot of their not core members. You have Celestia, for example, joining in this year, not really playing in previous years. And then on the other hand, Norway have the people who've been playing for years, like you said. So it's kind of a new meets old situation with Indonesia and Norway here.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was one of the two new Indonesian players. They made their account like late 2023, by the way. So
yeah.
They didn't have an OSO account last year, but I think it's the it's not Celestia, but the other one, Renesti or something. Renes, I'm not entirely sure.
Look at the team names. Be exact on that.
Yeah, so he made his account, or they made their account late 2023. So they're already playing CBC after 6 months, which is crazy. But Indonesian players do tend to be absolutely insane at the game. As we can see, Team Norway opting to pick first, ban second, which is, I think, what most teams do prefer, which means we'll be seeing Indonesia's ban first. I think one of the mob pools that we'll be seeing no bans coming out from Team Indonesia is definitely hidden. Definitely something they're very strong on, which they've been notably very strong on. And which European teams in general have been quite weak on, with the exception of Poland, I would say. So definitely no bans coming out from them on that map break. But then again, I'm not sure where they want to ban here. I think most of the maps should be quite comfortable for them, so
I can see a potential no mod 1 ban if they feel like they're just better than the other team. Because no mod 1 is usually the kind of map where it's just so much easier than the rest of the pool, where you're just trying to fight for triple FC on the kind of map. So maybe no mod 1 could be a potential. They want to just get that out of the way.
A little bit like Team Russia in the last match, and they do go for no mod 1. Yeah, you're right. We're gonna see that quite often getting banned by the top teams, I do assume.
Yeah.
Should have 2 already in this too, and then Hidden 2 immediately getting taken away by Sisum. That took absolutely no time.
Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, he knows what's up. I mean, if you're playing Team Indonesia, I think Hidden 2 is a great ban. I don't think there's anything else in the pool you should be banning. But we're picking Hidden 1, yo!
Okay.
Never mind.
That's a bit surprising.
I was going to go into like, yo, you don't pick Hidden, you let them pick Hidden, you go for something else, something speedy, but let's throw it off the table, and we're going to go into Hidden 1. So, okay. Met by Polizatos.
Yeah, he's also Indonesian, too.
He's also Indonesian, right? So it's their home territory, so...
Yeah.
Interesting. But the song is an absolute banger. The map is quite lengthy, 3 minutes 37 in length. An hour ago I said Hard to Coin is the longest map in the pool except for No One, but that's obviously false. It's Hidden 1. That's a little bit longer. Then again, on both sides, I mean, I think Team Indonesia has a couple of players can step in here. Zwanex, Frestia, Ipan Pan, but also Kroneko can also definitely step in here for this Air 9. On Team Norway, I'm looking at Benita. I'm looking at, I think, Sisef. But then at third slot, I'm a little bit uncertain. Oh, never mind. Camera God, of course.
Camera God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's been around for, I think he has the longest
10 years
at this point, with 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's his 10th year playing CWC, which is absolutely insane.
Honestly, really strong rosters from both teams on the Hidden. I mean, I think Norway is pretty decent at the Hidden too. It's just when you compare it to Indonesia, it's kind of a lost cause, you know. Indonesia, the team that could very easily go into the Hidden 2 and just triple FC it with no problem at all.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I don't really like this pick coming from Norway. Obviously, we don't know what they know, right? They might just triple FC it every single time. But if you're going against a team like Indonesia, I personally prefer, even if you're really good at Hidden 1, to let them pick it. Or keep it for a later
they're probably
time
going to pick
match,
it anyways.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
especially if you ban the Hidden 2, I mean, it just kind of says, okay, I'm weak at Hidden. maybe they'll pick the hidden one after. You know, that's kind of the basic logic that would go behind that. But I mean, on the flip side, if you do end up winning the hidden one after you've been hidden two, you kind of, it's a bit of a mental boom kind of moment where you just destroy their mentals when they think that they're actually good at the hidden one, but you end up winning as Norway versus Indonesia, and you're like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
And have to rethink your whole strategy.
Yeah, there's also the flip side, right? Indonesia's like, yo, this could have been our pick. They pick it now, we win it, and then we get our own pick, like as a bonus already. So it's kind of double-edged sword here. Either way, we see Benita, Vicky, and Camera Gods for Vicky playing instead of Saisev, and then Celestia, Korneko, and Ipampan for Team Indonesia. On hidden one, getting into this round of 32 matchup between Indonesia and Team Norway.
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty noticeable spin difference for the side of Norway. That's 3,300 points almost on just the first spinner, which is honestly pretty huge. I mean, that's already guaranteed a spin win, but Vicky does find the first miss, so it's not gonna matter likely unless we see like 3,000 point margin, which if we do, then hey, you gotta learn your spins, man.
Yeah, exactly. See an early drop coming out from Vicky, but the map's quite lengthy, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But the second drop is going to matter more. Benita also dropping. Not a great start here from Team Norway. Looking at a triple FC coming out from Team Indonesia. A couple droplet misses, but as we all know, accuracy doesn't really matter for catch the beat, or at least, well, it does in very rare occasions, but this isn't one of them. Anyhow, still triple FC, and they're running away with it. Camera got also dropping here on the bottom right, which is going to be a turret miss coming out from Team Norway, and that's 100,000 points in difference. It's going to increase even because they have no commas on Team Norway either. And then you're here right now with your hidden one pick trying to kind of like mental boom Team Indonesia, but it's kind of looking like the other way around, even though we're not even halfway yet though.
There's the first Indonesian miss from Celestia though, which, I mean, at this point you're already up 100,000 points. It doesn't matter if you miss once or twice. Vicky does trade that miss right again, so I mean, we're still at a 150,000 point gap. Gonna get a little bit smaller now with the second miss from Indonesia on Celestia, but at this point you just kind of wonder, is like, why did we pick hidden one for Norway?
Exactly, because
you don't feel you're not getting FCs, so
yeah, if we're looking at team score, I think Team Norway's team score is already capped at like 2.7 million, which is way too low for a round of 32 map. I mean, Celestia is missing quite often here. He's already trailing behind 60,000 points on his two teammates, but even if he keeps on dropping left and right, Ipampan and Connector are probably going to be guaranteeing a 2 million score, right? So if you add that up, it's at least 2.8, 2.9 million even. And if you're not getting that as a team score, then I'm not sure why you're picking hidden one. But then again, it's your first map of this entire CBC. It might just be completely down to nerves, but it's a weird performance though.
Yeah, I mean, nerves do definitely play a role for this, but you maybe even expect it on the other side more so, like Celestia, first time in the World Cup. Maybe that's why he's getting some of his misses right here, or they're getting some of their misses. So, you never know.
Yeah, then again, 400,000 points might be one of the biggest score differences of the entire weekend. Okay, that might not be true, given how there's still a match between Seed 1 and Seed 32 and Seed 2 and Seed 31. But this is still a surprising result, I would say. Yeah, not too sure what happened there. Team Norway are going to be getting broken immediately by Team Indonesia here, and they are going to be going back to the drawing table and figure something else out, because this hidden one pick definitely was not it.
The thing that I kind of have to just wonder here is, if you're Indonesia, what do you even go for after this? Is how do you find the map that'll best, you know, punish this kind of situation? We're already up one breakpoint over Norway. 502,000 point differential, by the way, on a round of 16 versus two pretty close Cs, which is a bit shocking anyways. But I think the next pick for Indonesia, maybe even go for a mixed mod, because none of the Norwegian players really performed that well on the hidden. Maybe they feel they could take a mixed mod just purely based off of the hidden would be the way to go for me.
The closest score difference between Celestia and Cameron, that's still 50,000 points, so there's definitely a clear discrepancy in hidden capacity here. Vicky only getting 711,000. I'm not sure what went wrong here for Team Norway, but what's done is done. And we're going to be starting the Nomad 3, and I like this as well. I like the Nomad 3 because it's just such a gimmick pick. And if you're if you feel like you're the better team on this pool, the Nomad 3 just kind of should suit you more. It's by far the hardest pick in the pool, so that's I do like this.
I do agree. I think this one's probably a pretty good pick. I'm curious to see what the rosters will be for both teams. I think Cameragod's definitely going to be staying in. We do see Sysef coming in for Benita in that top right slot.
Yeah, I think Azadit is also going to be coming in for over Vicky for this one. At least that would be my guess. On the Indonesian side, Ivan Pan and Kroneko are just going to be staying in pretty much permanently, I would say. The two of them are definitely the more experienced veteran players. Third slot could be Celestia, could also be Svenex, but probably going to be Celestia even. Yeah, this
thing
one
is
only
as well
2
with this
minutes
map.
Yes,
Yeah, it's not that long for one, like you were saying, and it's also very similar AR and kind of reading style to the previous Hidden 1 map, right? You have an AR9 from Hidden 1 map going to AR 8.9 Nomad 3 map. You're kind of going to be looking at pretty much the same places on the screen for the reading. So if you're going from one map to the next, it's going to be pretty easy to transition, in my opinion, between the two play styles, which is also maybe why Indonesia went with this as their next pick.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I really like this one. Yeah, they need something similar because, well, they just won by 500,000 points. So if they get something similar in this pick, then that's great for them. Isef being one of the newer not newer players on Team Norway per se, but one of the more rising players, that's what I was trying to get at, has been getting into the top 100 for the first time in the solo leaderboards as well. Has improved a ton as a player, and it's great for him to support Camera-God, because Camera-God has been that lone wolf in that regard a little bit. He has been the best player on Team Norway, right? There's still Groex, but he just doesn't play CVC. So he's been the team star for a couple of years now, so it's good for Sysef to be there. I'm curious to see how he's going to be playing on this one, but I do assume that he's going to be pulling out a very decent score.
Actually do get a quick timeout from Indonesia. This is their pick, so even though they already did pick the map, they can get a quick 2-minute timeout, one per match. So seems like Kroneko is a bit busy right now, according to the chat. So
yeah, it could be
ready to
as
go
well.
in just a few minutes. Yeah,
exactly. This is also an Indonesian mapper, by the way. I just noticed. I'm quite sure this is an Indonesian mapper. So that's a back-to-back Indonesian mappers. You're kind of like a Indonesian bias in the map pool. I'm just saying. I'm still waiting for a Belgian map in the map pools, but I don't think that's ever going to happen, sadly. So no.
You have to make it yourself.
Yeah, probably, but then I can't play anymore, so it's kind of like unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. I can't get any of my maps in the World Cup anymore either.
Oh,
so
man.
it is a bit unfortunate, but oh well.
It is what it is. But there's also no other American map. Okay, never mind this. Gigas, and there's also... Never mind. You guys
this
Gigas mappers. You have plenty of mappers.
This Gigas, Ascendant, Swan J, we got them all.
I was about to say, like, give us smaller countries some maps, please. Either way, we're ready now. Kroneko has readied up. Let's get it. Ipan Pan, Kroneko, and Celestia, same roster as last time. We only see Sysef coming from Benita. So Vicky going to be staying in for the Nomad 3. Did have the worst performance on the Hidden 1, so hoping for a better performance here for the Nomad 3. But then again, Hidden and Nomad does make a difference.
You see 2 very early misses on the side in order from both Vicky and Sysef on that about 20 combo mark. There is a very far jump right there, so gotta be wary if you're still playing your match a bit later today or tomorrow about that one.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of spots where a similar jump does happen. As we see Vicky struggling very hard here on the Nomad 3. Not even holding on to 96% accuracy. Celestia also dropped, but look at that score diffs already. It's about 90,000 points and increasing because Vicky's now able to combo. Camera got as well. Sysef
all
is coming
Norway
after Team Norway. And it's just Koneko and Ipampan again, right? Like similar story as last map, and the two of them are just kind of running away with it already here.
Yeah, I mean, this point differential already into the map is only 2 minutes long, by the way, so you don't really have much time to make a comeback on this map. We're already going to be approaching 300,000 points, which is just insurmountable at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just really weird how it kind of feels similar story as Hidden One, right? We do see double miss coming out from Team Indonesia, but I mean, kind of need a entire collapse. Camera gun and sides have recovered quite nicely here, but still, it just kind of feels like we're watching Hidden One all over again.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on for Team Norway here. It does feel like they're just kind of out of depth in the lower AR, so they have to figure out something new here. Maybe go for a hard for a double time, a little bit higher AR, a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely have to change something up. That's for sure.
Yeah, because this is just, they've been getting kind of decimated on the gimmick lower AR picks here.
That's going to bring it to a 2-0 so far for Indonesia. Best of 9, so first one to 5 points. We'll take this home. No FCs on this one, though. Bit different story from last time.
Yeah, overall, I think the team score from Team Indonesia isn't also... Well, it's definitely beatable by a lot of teams here, but Team Norway not able to get 2.5 million. It's just hurting them quite a lot here. So if you're Team Norway, go for a timeout, figure something out, go back to the drawing table. It's only 2-0 down, right? It's only 1 breakpoint. It's not the end of the world, but the way how they've been losing these points is significant in my opinion. And I'll go for the Hardrock 2, so they're listening to us. Hardrock 2 is, well, the harder Hardrock map in my opinion, or at least less conventional. So I'm not sure if I would have... I personally think I would have went for the Hardrock 1 as Team Norway, but I still like how they're changing things up here.
I mean, yeah, if you do want to go for a change-up, this one's probably going to change it up as much as you really can. So, in that sense, it's pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. The map itself, map by Nosri, Bubble X previously known, it's just so low density. It makes it really awkward to play. And also Renetia coming into the lobby, which is the newest, well, I don't know how to say it, newest player, I guess.
The youngest OS age player, you could say,
yeah,
I guess.
Exactly.
I just created that terminology up, but it works, you know.
It works out. But it's crazy, right? They didn't have an account when we were playing CBC last year, which is mental how they're now on the biggest stage here. Playing the Hardrock 2. Also, a Zadid coming in, which is also a very good player for Team Norway. I like this roster a lot. Size for Zadid and Camera God, those are the main 3, in my opinion, for Team Norway. So if there are 3 players that have to win a map, it's definitely these 3 here.
The main story for me is going to be seeing how Ipantan, Koneko, Saisef, and Camera God kind of transition into the AR10 compared to the lower AR that we've had so far in the match at AR9 and 8.9. It's not easy to transition, especially on a map like this where it's just turbo low density.
Yeah, exactly. The beginning is so scary. When we get into like a more of a course type of situation where there's a little bit more nodes, it gets more comfortable. That's only in a bit, but we see an early break coming out from Ipampan here in the slow section. 2 breaks for 1 from Camera God. That's going to give Norway an advantage they desperately need here to turn the tide in this round of 32 matchup. So very nice to see from them. Zadid and Saisef getting above 200 combo. Still 2 double assists on Koneko and Saisef. So because this map has some weird dropless placements as well. So holding on to an assist is also an incredible feat, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Again, like we also said, this one is going to be a low density map, and coming in at only 236, that means every miss is going to matter so much more than pretty much every other map. There's just not a lot of fruits in this map. You already see we're halfway in, we only have 400 max combo so far. So one miss is pretty much you're capping a score for a fourth of the map, and we're going to see Pambang with the second miss from Team Indonesia.
Yeah, it's giving Norway quite a buffer here. Exactly.
Yeah.
the only issue is now we have the break, right? And now Norway know they're in the lead, and they know they kind of desperately need this point. I'm kind of getting kind of nervous for their nerves, if that makes sense. We have spinner here. If we're on the complete left side, you do miss the node on the right, so I'm hoping no one's on the left. So it doesn't seem like that's the case, so it's perfect. Might just be a skill issue on my part. Either way, 70,000 points separating these two teams. That's 2 misses, and there's only 1 quarter left. So if Zayden and Sides fall out to their Cs, and a turret is coming out from Ipan Pan, so it's looking very nicely here for Team Norway.
Yeah, it's not much map left at all. We're gonna have to see a triple miss, and even then, that miss from Koneko pretty much seals the deal. So we're gonna be having Norway probably getting their first point of the match. You don't want to be too certain. You can always see something happen, but I mean, at this point, yeah, it's very unlikely we're gonna see a drop the full. Actually, no, they didn't have a full combo. They just had a 1 miss, I think, at that point. So you do see 2 full combos on this side of Norway, though.
Yeah, exactly. No full combos on Team Indonesia, and then again, this is a very confident victory from Team Norway, right? They strike back.
Yeah.
We had 2 very confident vicks from Team Indonesia, and now 2 from Norway. 1 from Norway, rather. 2 FCs from Norway, 2.95 million as well as a team score. Very, very solid here, and this is perfect from Team Norway. First point on the board, Team Indonesia to pick next, but then again, these gimmick lower AR picks are kind of gone, except for the Mixed Mod 2, but that's not really that gimmicky, in my opinion. And plus, it's a Mixed Mod map, so it's looking brighter and brighter for Team Norway here.
For sure, for sure. They definitely have not as hard of a battle as you would expect coming from a 2-0. I mean, I think the first 2 maps were probably the 2 worst maps for Norway compared to Indonesia that you could have had. Probably Indonesia's first 2 picks, being honest. Like you said, they're going back to the Mixed Mod 2, the other lower AR kind of map in this pool, which definitely makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but then again, in this scenario, you have a, like, if I were Norway, you kind of put Decisive or Azade on the Nomad and the Hardware respectively, and Cameron on the Hidden, and it kind of suffices, right? It's way, you don't need 3 people playing the lower AR, you only need 1 on the Nomad, 1 on the Hidden, so it's a different scenario, and that's why I don't think this pick is as bad. There's still a clear advantage for Team Indonesia here, right? Koneko probably going to be on the Nomad, Ipan Pan, the Hardware, and then Ceresia, I assume, on the Hidden. And it looks as a very solid roster as well. The map mapped by Mr. Binking, top 10 player from Venezuela. I think it's the very first map in CWC history as well, so it's positive. A very nice song and also a very nice map.
At this point...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
At this point, everybody knows the song, you know.
True.
It's been around in the community for quite a while. Like I said, AR 8.6, so it's going to be a bit lower AR for the Nomad and Hidden players than we've gotten to see so far in the match. But the Hard Arc player is just going to have just as much fun as they did on the last map, pretty much.
Yeah, the Hard Rock player is probably the most comfortable one on this one. It plays quite nicely with Hard Rock. Mostly looking down on the bottom, size of Camera Gods, Ceresia, and Connect with the Nomad and the Hidden. Those are probably the ones that are going to be struggling a little bit more. Knock on wood, you never know. Then again, this one comes in at 2 minutes 30, average length. Not sure what more to say about it. The patterns itself are relatively comfortable as well. 4 hard rock, 4 double time, even for double time, but for Nomad and Hidden as well. As you see, an early drop coming out from the hard player from Team Norway is Zaded, but it's before 200 combos, so not a full miss. It doesn't hurt as badly for the team score.
Yeah, 1 miss from Team Indonesia will pretty much swing it back into the Norwegians' favor at this point, but this is also a map that we've seen some really good team scores on earlier today and yesterday and last night here in the, good old American time zones. And we do see that 1 miss coming from Norway again, which is just going to make the gap even larger.
Yeah, and the Indonesian team still wants 2 FCs, 2 double S's and 1 additional FC as well, so 2 FC coming out from them. Ceresia and Ipan Pan looking very comfortable. Koneko only missing a single droplet. On the other hand, Size will also still want to do double S, so doing anything he needs as a Nomad player. And Ipan Pan's going to be dropping, so only 1 miss separating these 2 teams, right? The only difference is Camera God did miss and Ceresia didn't. But it's going to close things down just a little bit, going right over the halfway mark here in the Mixed Mod 2.
Still completely doable at this point. We only get 1 miss gap between these two teams, which can happen at any point. And there it is, right from Korneko on the gnome on the bottom left. So
Yeah,
gonna see
that
that
should be
score
enough.
straight. Yeah, it's gonna be enough for sure. It's gotta
Should
be.
be flipping here. Yeah, it's gotta be flipping. 5,000 points and decreasing. Korneko building up to 200 combo here. Going into the last quarter, Zeta also got quite nicely. And there we go. Norway in the lead here on the pick from Indonesia. We have to keep that in mind as well. The mixed mod too. The three of them have to hold on here, and they just countered that break point again, and they're tying the score up to 2-2. Zaitsev holding on to the FC here on the bottom. Sureski as well still want to double S as well. Running out of time for Team Indonesia. It's only 3,000 points. I'm not sure if there's a spinner at the end. I can't remember for some reason, but then again, I'm at the edge of my seat here for the mixed mod too. Coming down straight to the wire. 2,000. No!
Oh! Zaitsev missed.
There's
No.
no way. There's no way.
He missed the last pattern.
I was gonna say it's done, but it's not done. Team Indonesia win by 1,800 points.
That is so unfortunate. He missed 4 notes away from the ending, which is just enough to put Indonesia over the finish line on that one.
Yeah, they
a
won
bit of
by
a
3,000
heartbreak
points.
there.
3,000 points for Team Indonesia, so it streams a little bit. Then against Surestia, only have seen the lobby, and that FC proved to be crucial here. And this is the turning point in these types of matches, Sekre. Like, the issue here is that if this pick would have turned out, if the coin would have flipped to the other side, you're looking at a 2-2, now you're looking at a 3-1. It's just such a huge difference if we're talking best of 9s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Surestia pulling their weight here in their first World Cup, the rookie for Team Indonesia, and seeing a mixed mod 2. And there we go, 3-1. And if you're Zaitsev, you kind of, well, you're not blaming yourself. You gotta kind of kicking yourself like, could have seat this. I know I can. Kind of slipped right at the end there. But then again, what's done is done. We're going into the Hardhook 1. I like this a lot from Team Norway. They confidently won Hardhook 2. So by logic, you kind of assume you can also win the Hardhook 1. As long as you keep a Zaded camera gun aside from the lobby, I think you're good to go. Those three have proven how well they can play on the posture maps. Keep those three playing, and you have a success recipe, I do feel like.
Yeah, and I also really like this pick from the side of Norway too. Not just because it's a good pick, but also because it is the best song in the pool, let's be honest. It is a banger song. I gotta love Yoshi and Connor finding the best songs to map at this point. So thank you again for this one.
The map is also really well. I like the map. It plays really nicely.
Yeah, very comfortable Hard Rock 1 for the stage, which is mostly reading tests at this level. You know, even still nowadays, you're still trying to get a reading test for the AR-10, because not everybody can still play AR-10 in the World Cup. We're getting to the point where you can add a little bit more funky patterns on some of these, which this map does show a bit, but still mostly a relatively normal Hard Rock 1 at this point.
Mostly consistency, exactly. We see Shiak making their first appearance of the year as well, replacing Surestia for the Hard Rock 1. Putting on Hidden, same as Camera God. For those that do not know catch scoring systems, Hidden's multiplier is just 1, so you do not get any additional score bonus like in Standard, for example. But there are some lunatics in the world that do prefer it for reading. I don't know why seeing only half your screen improves your reading, but then again, I'm not a Hidden player, so it might just be me. Either way, getting to the hard, less flutter, I guess, but still, I'm not a fan personally. We see an early drop coming out from Korneko, so very tiny advantage for Team Norway here. But this one is 3 minutes and 20 in length, over 1,000 camo, so plenty of room to find drops on either side.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if we see Norway get a triple FC at this point in this map, that's just pretty much another mental killer for the side of Indonesia, where you go into this, you don't expect teams triple FC, and there, we're going to be feeling first miss on the side of Norway from Camera God, so it's going to be swinging things back into the Indonesia's favor any moment now. There it is.
Yeah, exactly. The break from Korneko is only at 40 comma, so that's a huge difference. Camera got a bit of a weird break in a bit of a slower section there, which is also quite unfortunate, right? The biggest enemy of a catch player are the slower sections, especially when you're playing Hard Rock, as we could see there. But then again, everyone else is just doing very, very well here. We see 2 double S on the side of Norway. The Indonesian FCs have dropped some accuracy, but it actually doesn't matter, as we already mentioned. And only 10,000 points separating these two teams, going over 1/3 here in the heart of one. But this one is a marathon, not a sprint. As we said, plenty of room to miss.
Yeah, like I said, third longest map of the pool, I believe.
Yeah, we banned the Nomad one, right? So
a lot of ways to go. Yeah.
Yeah, and the hidden one's already played, so this one's the longest
one
span.
remaining.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, still 3 near FCs, I would say, for Team Indonesia, right? Connected with a very early slip up there. On the pick of Team Norway, I also have to keep it in mind, right? This is Norway's pick, not Indonesia's pick, so they're looking very, very comfortable. Way better than the Hard Rock 2. The Hard Rock 2 narrative was kind of like Norway just being the lead from start to finish, and Indonesia falling further and further behind. This is a case for the Hard Rock 1 here.
Yeah, Hard Rock 1 definitely a lot more simpler of a map. And I think a big thing, or big reason for that is because the Pon is doing a lot better on this one compared to the Hard Rock 2. You know, he had, I think, a few misses on the Hard Rock 2, which was mainly the reason why they ended up losing that Hard Rock 2, but here he's still got an FC. Only one drop in this tournament so far.
Yeah, exactly. We see 4 people above 1,000 combo here. Koneko going to be joining them. 5 people above 1,000 combo, and this is getting kind of nerve-wracking here. It's only 10,000 points, but that's not spins winnable, I think. I don't think there's a spinner at the end of the call, remember. So, oh, there's a spinner in the middle, actually, but still, then again, the spinners are too short for Norway to do any damage, and Zayn is going to be missing there. That's going to be, it's going to be so crucial here. Team Indonesia kind of has 2 mislead now, right? They need to miss twice, and we're in the ending section, so they might even need to miss 3 times here. And Side's going to be stealing the deal here. That's unfortunate for Team Norway here. They held on for very, very long here, but they kind of succumbed to the pressure, sadly.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, they would have needed a pretty much perfect performance. Koneko only missing right in the intro, so you pretty much need to triple FC, which is just a really tall task for any team. Even on this round of 32 pool.
The Indonesia from Hard Rock 2 and the Indonesia from Hard Rock 1 are
a little different.
Complete opposites. That's insane. But then again, we are on match 1 already for Team Indonesia, and if we look back at the mixed mod 2, if Norway would have won that one, they had some more leeway. Now they're looking at 3 match points for Team Indonesia, and Indonesia still has 2 picks left as well within those 3 match points. So dire situation for Team Norway, not impossible. We've seen crazy things on the stage. Let me remind you of Team Finland reverse sweeping Team Netherlands. Always like to do that as a Belgian myself. Either way, it's not easy for Team Norway here. And
also a bit of a shout out to Chia as well. First map of the World Cup and the FC. It's always a good feeling to get in your first map, pull out an FC. So well played to them. Pon also FC'd that one too. Everybody else got a 1 miss. I mean, still really good scores all around.
Yeah, very solid from everyone around. I was going to comment on the fact that there's nothing lower AR-ish left in the pool, and we are going to see the Nomad 2. This map is, well, I mean, it's probably the most comfortable map for everyone in the lobby or for everyone playing in round of 32. It is tech, but it's not the type of tech that I think anyone struggles with from a higher level, right?
Yeah.
So this one is going to be more of a nerf tester, if anything, in my opinion.
Yeah, a bit higher approach rate than the other types of maps that we've seen so far. So shouldn't be that hard on the reading.
Yeah, exactly. We see Vicky coming in over Camera God. I'm not sure if that's the way to go. Camera God, Side have been, yeah, it's surprise for me as well. Vicky did struggle a little bit on the Nomad 3 on the hidden one, so not entirely sure if that's the way to go. But either way, Norway probably knows best. We see Ipan, Koneko, and Celestia making their appearance again as well for the Nomad 2. So basically, Shia was like, yo guys, I have Hard Rock 1, comes in, FCs, leaves lobby, doesn't talk about it anymore.
Doesn't elaborate anymore, just FCs, leaves.
That's beautiful.
Gotta feel amazing, honestly.
Definitely, I can't relate, but anyhow, going to Nomad 2, this one is relatively short, 2 minutes 15 in length. There's 1 break in the middle, if I'm not mistaken, or 1 spinner at least, but that's about it. The rest of the map is consistently hard. There's a drop in the first half and drop in the second half, and those are just very, very similar. You see an early break coming out from Vicky right after 200 combo, so it's full miss for Team Norway. whilst the entire New Zealand team seems to be hitting the entire first drop, I would say. Still holding on to 3 double S's as well.
Yeah, the good thing I guess you could say is that even though this map is a bit shorter, is on the denser side, so one miss won't hurt nearly as much as some of the other picks like the Hard Rock 2, which is completely just very sparse in its mapping overall. And we do see that break, so Indonesia knows they have, I think at this point, a 2 miss gap. I think Vicky missed again right before the spinner, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We saw second drop coming out from Vicky. Which is going to give Indonesia a clear 2 miss advantage here going into the latter half of this map. And given how, well, it's quite comfortable for most players, so backs against the wall for Team Norway. It's not over yet. Size and Azade still holding on to FCs. Azade dropped a little bit of accuracy. But they need to hold on to Kamo here, and they need to hope for breaks from Kaneko, Srestia, or Ipapan, and preferably multiple.
Oh,
there's one though. There's one.
There's one. I mean, they can start clawing their way back, but that miss was traded again by Vicky, so it's not really gonna do much in the grand scheme of things. They need pretty much a full team wipe at this point in the map. There's not much map left to go. There's only maybe 20, 30 seconds at most, which just isn't enough to mount a comeback at this point in the map.
Yeah, exactly. Ipapan and Kaneko, the 2 veterans on Team Indonesia, looking so incredibly comfortable on this Nomad 2. Kaneko has played really well in this matchup. Ipapan as well, if we kind of forget about Harder 2 incident, but that's going to be Indonesia taking home a 5th point here, 5-1, in a quite comfortable fashion, I would say, against Team Norway. Norway also bring home double FC, but Vicky just struggling a little bit more than Surestia. And it's going to be Indonesia taking this one, 5-1. I think most people have expected this one to be a little closer than it eventually was. But either way,
yeah.
the winners on the screen here: Indonesia, Svenex, Konekofia, Ipapan, Surestia, and Renesia. All 6 played. Actually, never mind, Svenex didn't play a map, but all 5 of them played a map here in a 5-1 victory against Norway. Sorry, go ahead, Sekiro.
Yeah. To be fair to Indonesia, I think a lot of the reason why people thought it would be closer than it was is also because last year they did end up losing in the round of 32, the biggest upset of last year, to the Netherlands. And
yeah, exactly.
Think that they're feeling good that they didn't lose in the round of 32 this year. So,
exactly. Talking about the Netherlands.
Yeah, there you go.
The Netherlands are playing China on Ocean Live 2, so we'll be going right over to them. We'd like to thank you guys for watching Indonesia vs Norway. We'll be rating Ocean Live 2 for a banger matchup, 3-3 right now between Netherlands and China, so that might go TB. Who knows? Anyhow, Sekre, thank you for commentating this one with me. I was Elskefe, that was Sekre, and we'll see you guys another time.